So recently, I bought an Old Navy Malcolm X shirt. My wife sent it to me, and I was enamored by the hilarity of it. Like, this is what we're living through. This is North America in a nutshell for me. Just like, right? We don't even have like a revolutionary heroes anymore, and if they do, they got to be on a T-shirt or in a movie, or else they don't have any value. This was the best, in a sad way, and I think that's what I'm doing now. Is just like having the best sad moments. That's what I find fun now. So this episode, if you couldn't tell, is about Mark Fisher's Capitalist Realism. It's a great book. The audiobook's read by that dude that's in trouble. What dude isn't in trouble? Russell Brand. But, anyway, I won't get into it. Basically, the theory of capitalist realism, it can be boiled down to like his famous phrase for that, which is it's easier to picture the end of the world before it is to picture the end of capitalism, which is just, ideology and indoctrination kind of, but still, it's kind of what I found funny about the Malcolm X Old Navy shirt. And when I say funny, I don't mean like funny in a melancholic way, in a oh, we're doomed kind of way, which that makes me laugh for some reason. I guess that's why I'm doing this podcast. I gotta find better things to do. Other people just, jump off a building. I make a podcast. Anyway, so the idea is like this everything you are born into, everything that you think is revolutionary, everything you do is just already co-opted by, it's already been done. It's already been co-opted by capital. Because that's what capital does. It just keeps moving. Like you see it with like Disney shows. You see it with like this modern trend, like Triangle Sadness. This modern trend of critiquing capital in movies. It's capital's like, yeah, sure, do it, yeah, right. Like it's just you're in the framework, criticizing the framework, and that becomes a product, right? Like pointing out the realities of capitalism becomes a product in itself. So like Malcolm X, who was this revolutionary figure, or Frida Kahlo, or Martin Luther King, or like okay, during COVID, like the lockdowns, there was people comparing themselves to like to Holocaust Jews or Rosa Parks. I saw people comparing themselves to Rosa Parks, and I think this is what really got me into like just this break that I've gone. This is existential break that I've had. Is just watching like white people act like they're, and there was other people just white, but it was just watching white people like complain about not being able to get their hair dyed and comparing themselves to Rosa Parks. And it was just like, oh, it's all been flattened. Like I literally had a anti-vax friend who said to me that she was a second-class citizen. And I'm like, for Halloween? Like, you can't go to a comedy club without a mask. That's all that's happened to you. But like the pain and like the entitlement is so real that it becomes a T-shirt, right? Like it becomes a poster or just a thing. And that's how we protest in North America, right? Like I love watching January 6th, or even in my own country, like the trucker convoy is like or even in Brazil, like they turned it into a mall. Their revolution, they walked, they stormed the Capitol, they climbed over things, people got shot, and then they didn't know what to do. They just wandered around like it was taking photos and stealing things. Same with the trucker convoy. Everyone brags about what a great time. It was a carnival. They turned it into like a festival, like a street festival. It was. It's like George A. Romero's Dawn of the Dead. the zombies show, like, just instinctually go to the mall. And this is the thing that really frustrated me, was that, like, not that, like, these anti-vaxxers or these, you know, whatever, the people I politically disagree with, that I disagreed. It wasn't that I disagreed with. It was that you don't even see how you're trapped, right? With the F Trudeau shirts and the, you know, Make America Great Again hats. It's your protest is in the system, and you're upset about the system. You're upset about the conditions, your living conditions. You're upset about how you're being treated. And like Audre Lorde said, you're using the master's tools to fight them. Yeah, whatever. I didn't really read Audre Lorde. I have to. But anyway, right? Like, you know the saying. You know the saying. So that was my frustration watching that, right? Watching people like storm around in their t-shirts, like people going to food courts to protest. It's like, you went to a food court to protest the government? How very bourgeoisie of you. Congratulations. I realize this is old, but it's older than the lockdowns. It's old. It still continues today, right? It's the Malcolm X shirt. It still continues, right? Like I said, my friend who's you're like, I went to see the Barbie movie and that blew my mind, right? Like the Barbie famous with Frida Kahlo doll is just like, that movie just like, it was a commercial that knew it was commercial, and then Barbie came alive. It was just, I wish I was on mushrooms when I watched that movie. It was very trippy from a philosophical standpoint. It was just like, I don't think it meant to be that, but it was just like, what am I watching here? Like, what do they want me to think? Right? Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm just, you know, maybe I'm a mess in the head. And we see it in like now with politics, like you see, especially in politics, which is funny, is that it's so ESPN driven. Like it's all aesthetic and it's all driven. Like you got people on one side, and even the way they do punditry, it's set up like an ESPN thing. And you know, it's red against blue, and then you got like, and then people, you know, wear their colors and wear their hats and their Make America, or the F Trudeau crowd up here, just so. Putting it on the back of their trucks. They'd had like the middle finger and stuff like that, and just like driving around angry enough to go out and buy a sticker, right? And you're like, oh, what does this F Trudeau mean? They're like, it's my politics. And I'm like, well, no, it's not. It's a slogan like Hulkamania or Live, Laugh, Love. But these people don't care. They'll line up to put their opinion out there. The F Trudeau, you know who they are. You know what they're talking about. They hate this. And they're angry about it, right? And some of them got F Carney now, which is weird because he's exactly like the politician they want. You know what's weird? Like, I'm convinced if you put F Trudeau on a Diva Cup, you'd get like 6 or 7 dudes lining up to get it. They would. Dudes would buy. These people would buy anything with F Trudeau on it. I think that's part. Like, there's like a bit of envy from my end. I wish I had people like that in my audience when I sell merch. Just like, slap it on, baby. Tell me what I want to be. And it's just you know, this is. I like, it's so weird that like George R. R. Romero's Dawn of the Dead is so prevalent now. Like, it's just, that's so weird. Like Trump just like, I don't know if it's a meme, but he's got a bookshelf with Make America Great Again 2020 whatever. Like, it's just, it's a money-making machine. And the key is that it's a machine and it keeps you in it, recycling, and just like, you think you're fighting for freedom. You think you're fighting for justice. Even when you're buying your guns and even those nut jobs buying their guns and stuff, they think they're doing something that's like, oh, F in the system. And really, it's just, you're fully entrenched in it. Like, fully entrenched in this thing. Right? You're playing on their rules. I don't even have the answer to it, right? Like, Mark Fisher, like I said, all my favorite philosophers are dead. You know, he's dead. He clearly didn't have an answer for this either. But this is the sad reality of of humanity. Is we're kind of hamsters, right? Just running a wheel, using protest revolutionary simulacra to pretend that we're moving forward, and really we're not. We're just on a, like I said, a hamster wheel, just trying to get a piece of cheese, trying to be relevant, chasing narratives that mean nothing. On a t-shirt. That's so North American. When I saw them doing it in when I saw the, I'm like, that's because like just before lockdowns, the wet sweating people were blocking off trains to protest pipelines going into their land because the Canadian government was just bulldozing through. They got permission anyway. It's a long story, but again, you know, colonialist government not listening to the not obeying the treaty that they laid out. That's essentially what happened, right? Just civil rights, human rights violations. And so they were blocking off trains and stuff, and you'd watch people, they're mad, like, this is not a proper way to protest. You know how liberals are, right? Like, just, oh, you can't protest like this, how dare you? You should show up with an apple, and you give it to someone, and then you politely let people walk by, and you should seat them to their seats, you know what I mean? And then, you know, they shut that down with violence, pretty much, the federal government. And then they let these yahoos come in for a month on their, and do their winter festival of protest. And it was just like, it was such a juxtaposition of this like real wet moment, and then these, you know, I don't want to wear a mask people. And the pain, like, and in that moment, you were like, it was so easy to see that, like, any idea of, like, revolution, any revolutionary person that you know that's been known is now just, like, this smiley, happy figure that's always been on the right side of history like everyone else. And it's just, like, that's because a t-shirt told me, or a movie told me, that, you know, they've always been like, oh, there's been struggle. This is the thing that I find weird about Black History Month, right? Like February, that's a great time for Black comedians to work. Like we are out, baby. That's our time, right? Sometimes we can't get booked in some places the entire year, but when Black History Month comes on, you better watch out. Anyway, so. Sometimes I'll watch, like, during Black History Month, I watch these, like, news things, just like, oh, remembering this person in the news. And it's just this weird moment I have, this just, like, out of body experience when I'm like, you're the news talking about, like, how the only reason Black History Month exists, like I talked about in my racecraft video or episode, is that race exists to reinforce racism. So, you know, Black History Month is about people overcoming racism. And then you're on this network, which is generationally wealthy. It came from a long time ago, right? Just passed down, more than likely from slavery. It's connected to the very system that is oppressing people. And you're watching this in real time as this machine dissolves everything into this, like, oh, everything's fine and everything's good and people are individuals and there is no systems. Keep buying stuff. It's a trip. It's a bit of a trip. Like, even our need to survive as a species, as human beings on this planet, needs to be commodified. Like, it needs to be put into the idea of consumption, right? Like, we always laugh about conspiracy theories. Well, I guess we don't, but people do, right? Like, you see people laughing about conspiracy theorists, like, oh, like the jets with the chemtrails, and it's like, oh, the government, but I like liberals, myself included, and I'm not a liberal, but like liberals and people who live in liberal democracies, we have our own conspiracy theory, right? Like recycling, like personal recycling is the biggest scam ever. Like because it gamifies a serious problem, and it also gives you the feeling of having agency, like you're out there doing something with your life. It's a release of your existential anxiety. Excuse me. Like I like you go out and you put your cans in the bin, and then you put your pizza box in the other bin or whatever. I don't know if you guys have it where you are, but that's how we do it here. And and then you're like, oh, I'm slaving the planet all by myself. Like, look at me, right? But like, realistically, 90% of the pollution are from like 9 or 10 companies. I mean, I don't have those stats off the top of my head, but that's what it's from. It's not from anyone else but that, right? Like, it's a small dent. I'm not saying recycling is bad, but it's such a small dent in the entire thing. We're like the baby in the backseat of the car with the tiny steering wheel, It's just like, oh, look at you drive. Look at you recycle. Good for you. In Hamilton, where I'm from, we have this program called the Yellow Bin. So here's what happens. And Karens, like white lady liberals love the Yellow Bin. Because, like, so if you recycle really well, the government, the city will come out, audit your garbage, and then award you with a gold bin so you can brag to your neighbors that look at you, you're the best recycler in the world. But Hamilton is like, it's a blue-collar steel, it's called Steel City. There's factories all over. There's a factory down the street just pumping toxins in the sky. They're like, look at the yellow bin, not the Eye of Sauron above your head. Again, as much as I find the Malcolm X shirt hilarious, it's on a macro level, it's very depressing. Like we're trapped in this cycle of capital. I think about like what Mark Fisher talks about in that book in Capitalist Realism. He talks about how Kurt Cobain at some point realized that his rebellion has been done before. That's sad. Like being the anti-MTV was exactly what MTV wanted. Like I think about that too. Like I think about like, oh, maybe I need to get off the grid, get out of here, right? Like just pack up a whole bunch of stuff and just pee in a bottle and boil it. I don't know what people do off the grid, but you know what I mean? Like just do that. Live off wits in my roots. You know what I mean? Then the thought right after that is, okay, I need to get down to Bass Pro and figure out what I need to get. And there you are. Anyway, that's my opinion on that. If you have any comments or any questions, feel free to put them in the comments or in the thing or whatever.